Tonight on Golf Central, he's going toe-to-toe with Tiger Woods at the same age, but can Jordan Spieth continue piling up PGA Tour wins? We'll show you why the two-time major champ could be better than ever.
Also ahead, in the shadows of Hollywood, there's no shortage of star power at the rich history at Riviera Country Club. Tonight, we treat you to its most thrilling playoff finishes.
Plus, we're going back in time with Tiger Woods to celebrate a special silver anniversary. It's all ahead right now on Golf Central.
Golf Central, brought to you by Titleist.
The PGA Tour continues its run through the state of California. This week's stop is at famed Riviera for the Genesis Open, where Jordan Spieth is back on the course today. After his 9th PGA Tour win, Spieth is playing in the 3rd annual Collegiate Showcase, featuring 6 PGA Tour pros in a group with a collegiate golfer and 2 amateurs. The college golfer with the lowest score earns a spot in this week's field. Lisa Cornwell, Trip Eisenhower taking you through the highlights. The guys will join us in just a minute. Trip, let's start with Spieth here at the par 4 13th for birdie.
This part of his game, red hot heading into this week. You got to like his chances at Riviera.
Yeah, we're used to seeing him drop those, though. Now at the par 5 17th, Sahith Theegala, a sophomore from Pepperdine.
Yeah, the Pepperdine local guy from Chino Hills, California. That's just about an hour down the road, Lisa, and well, that's his 3rd shot at the 17th par 5. Didn't quite get there in 2, but that would be a birdie.
Yeah, I love the tempo on that little move there. He would take a 2-shot lead after that one. Now at the par 4 18th, his 2nd.
Got the hardest part of this shot out, or this hole out of the way, hitting the ball in the middle of the fairway. Pulled that one just a little bit. That's going to leave a speedy putt. And he's got this for bogey. The 3-putt, he gets the win.
How about that? A 1 under par and a 1-shot victory, 2 under rather. That'll get him in the Genesis Open. Let's hear from the winner.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, just to have the opportunity to play out here, I'm blessed to have the opportunity. I'd like to thank Paul for getting us out here, for sure. Paul Porteous, he was a big part in me getting in this, obviously, but you know, my goal today was just to come out here and have a good time, and I think we all had a good time as a group out there, so that was really important to me, and the golf just happened to work out. I was swinging well all day, and I still can't believe it.
And here you can see what the Collegiate Showcase winners have done the past 3 years in this event. Will Zalatoris, the only one to miss the cut. Of course, there are only a couple comparisons. And then Charlie Danielson, after finding that 67 in the first round, went on to a T72 finish, but still nice for him to make the cut. With more on how the golf course will play for the pros this week, we take you back out to Riviera and check in with Jeff Shackelford.
Lisa, Riviera looks absolutely fantastic. I've never seen it in better shape. You know, the thing that's going to be very interesting this week, there's not a lot of high rough. They're keeping it at 2 inches, according to Steve Rentoul of the PGA Tour rules staff. I think that's going to be a good thing for the Bombers. Dustin Johnson's played very well the last few years here. I think he'll love it. Obviously, Bubba, the defending champion, sure likes being able to swing freely. There is some high rough in spots, some native-looking grass. Keep an eye out for that. May take driver out of their hands a couple times, but all in all, greens are absolutely perfect. They're rolling 12. Hopefully the weather holds and we'll have a great week here at Riviera.
Basically in Shaq's backyard. Thanks, Jeff. Defending champion Bubba Watson takes on Jordan Spieth, Phil Mickelson, and more than half of the top 25 players in the world at Riviera Country Club. Our coverage of the Genesis Open begins Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, Trip, let's go through the best of the week from Jordan Spieth. Now, a lot of people said it was just kind of ho-hum, but he would take ho-hum all day long.
Well, difficult conditions on Thursday, rain and high winds. And you know what? He said he was proud of a couple of iron shots that he hit that day. That's one of them right there at the 8th. That would lead to an easy birdie. Yeah,
and a 68 in that round in those conditions. Incredible. Now in round 2 at Spyglass for birdie.
And Spyglass, these greens, when you're on the right side of them, you can be aggressive, and that's exactly what he did. Another birdie for Jordan Spieth.
Trending in the right direction. It was a 65 for him in round 2. Now in round 3 at Pebble. Here at the par 4 first, his 2nd.
Beautiful tee shot, left side. It's such tiny targets. You need to be really precise with your irons. And you know what? He was hitting green after green on the weekend. And it's going to be difficult to catch.
Yeah, 8 birdies in round 3 for him. Now at the par 5 18th, his 3rd.
Yeah, and you would think that Jordan would be one of those guys that would usually lay up here unless it was downwind. But you know what? Same result. as the guys that go for it and too often. Beautiful birdie.
Another 65 for him on Saturday. And what would he do in the final round? Well, here he is at the par 5 second.
Well, if you were chasing competitor and you had any questions what was going to happen, Jordan Spieth made a statement quite early in the round. This is the second hole, par 5. That's from 255 to 13 feet, and we're going to give him 2 putts from there.
And normally you would say he would take it, but maybe not. But this one was kind of unexpected here at the par 3 17th. We hadn't seen him make too many on Sunday. And there you go. That's what we're used to seeing from Jordan Spieth. Let's hear from him in his own words.
I want to get back. I want to be back in the winner's circle in a major. I want to win, 5+ tournaments in a year. That was fun. We enjoyed it. And I want to get back there, and I want to improve on what needs to be improved. This is as well as I've struck the ball closing a tournament, I think, ever. I kind of make it interesting, unfortunately, in the past, and I stayed true to hitting greens. This is the most greens in regulation I've ever hit on a Sunday with the lead. And to be able to come in and not really stress, I can take that going forward. I think for me, I'm certainly focused on what we can do leading into the Masters this year. I know that it's going to be as difficult as any to win. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is I'm not really focused on what the other guys are doing. I think it's great, but it doesn't change or perceive the way I think of the win today, or the way that this year's gone for me. I don't think that I've enjoyed the wins as much as I've kind of talked to myself about the losses. I don't think I've really enjoyed on the inside how much it takes to win out here and the hard work that goes into winning when you do win, and just really had a chance to just thoroughly enjoy it on the inside, what it feels like. I mean, it's great. I remember walking up 18, and there and Augusta were probably the two times I've walked up and really enjoyed it today and soaked it in at the end on the green. I just remember just visions, just giving myself fist pumps in there, just like, this is awesome. This is really, really cool, because it is really tough to do.
How about some of the highlights of Jordan Spieth's young career? Of course, his most recent victory, the 2017 AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. 9 PGA Tour wins at 23. And that's since the beginning of 2013, tying Jason Day in that span, and the youngest player in PGA Tour history to win 5 times by 3 shots or more. With that, we officially say hello. Welcome to Golf Central. Lisa Cornwell, Trip Eisenhower, Matt Adams, Tim Rosafort. Trip, let's start with you on his form going into the Masters, because I know you talked about his iron play not being up to par last year, could have contributed to some of the problems at 12, but he is certainly on the money right now.
Absolutely. He came out in 2017 all guns a-blazing with his iron play, and that was the weakness last year. If you look at the difference and how many greens he was hitting at times, it just didn't maintain consistency, other than that one event that he won the Tournament of Champions by 8 shots. In fact, that's the most greens he's ever hit in his career. We just saw the second most greens he's ever hit in his career. 57 greens out of 72, 18 of his last 20. The iron game is there, and here's bad news for everybody else. He's 29th in strokes gained putting and 132nd in gaining strokes around the green, and those are usually his strengths. So he's doing the right things. He fixed the one little area that he had a hiccup, but it's hard to say, oh, we had an off year last year. He still won 3 times worldwide, and oh, by the way, that Australian Open, which he ended up winning the end of last year, the last time he did that, he put on a green jacket in April. So I think right now he's clearly the favorite going into Augusta.
You know what I liked about it? When you said that some people, Lisa, were calling it a ho-hum victory yesterday, he called it actually boring golf. He said that Michael Greller kept saying to him, just keep playing boring golf. What I saw from Jordan Spieth was a Jack and Tiger of old, because he went out, he got his edge in front of the field through 54, then on Sunday he sat back and did what he had to do. And wasn't it classic that on 17 on Sunday, he literally closed out the hopes of everybody on that 17th green, where so much history has taken place at Pebble Beach over the years. When Jordan is on song, Jordan can play boring golf. It's when we look back on his wins and say, can you believe he did what he did? Well, he did it on Sunday at Pebble Beach, and he talked about it as a bucket list victory. at Pebble Beach. He said it was the Masters at Augusta National and when you win at St. Andrews that it makes a big difference in a player's career. And he showed us once again why he is different than all the rest.
Michael Greller should have told Jordan making the turn last year at Augusta, let's play some boring golf, because obviously that was not the theme coming down at even before they got to Amen Corner. So on point with what you guys are saying, that this is, I think this sends a message that Jordan Spieth is back to where he was 2 years ago. It also illustrates, I think, that the cycles that the top players are going to go through and have gone through. You look at where Day is right now, McIlroy coming off his injury. Can Dustin Johnson have the type of year this year that he had last year? That's the type of question that Jordan Spieth tried to answer last year. 3 wins in most cases is certainly acceptable, more so than 99% of the guys out there. But for Jordan Spieth, after doing what he did, comparing him in a comparison to Tiger Woods, he needed to lock this thing down. Winning 7 of his last 8 with a lead, that says something about Spieth and his ability to close. And it also says that he's capable of making you maybe turn off the TV set and go out and mow the lawn, because it's not exactly the most exciting golf tournament in the world, but it's exactly as exciting as he wanted it to be.
His caddy, Michael Greller, telling him to play boring golf. I think all of us and everybody watching would take boring golf every single day. I don't know what that means. Going back maybe to the form issue a little bit, and Rosie, you can start with this. You know, the pressure from 12, and look, he's played it before. He said he put those demons behind him, but you still have to think that it's going to come up. He's once again the favorite. So being in that position again, knowing what happened last year, more pressure now or last year?
Last year, coming off the W, and also I think the pressure showed when he started playing 10, 11, and 12 through that stretch, more so than you would think from a guy who made it look so easy the year before. So that's where I'm going with it. And I think that, you know, when you go through the experience that he did last year, Tripp, what do you do from it? You learn from it. And not to say that it wouldn't happen again, but you certainly know better how to avoid it.
Yeah, and really the only way to really officially put those demons away is to actually play it in competition. You can go there, and he made it 2, you know, when he played it when he was out there. So the only way to do that is know that, because we've seen the 12th get into guys' heads. I don't think it's going to get into Jordan's, because his iron game is miles better this year than it was last year.
And look what he did in 15 when he had the pressure on him after the Masters, the pressure on him after the U.S. Open, and he still came but a hole away at the Open Championship from getting the playoff.
And look where he came about a month ago when he got a chance to play 12 and he stuck it in there and made it 2, walked away. Not exactly like a Masters Sunday, but at the same time there was some exercising of the demons at that.
You think there'll be a lot of fans on 12 on Thursday?
There always will be.
When Spieth walks through, though, everybody's going to wonder how he will play that. Well, a lot still ahead on Golf Central. With every win, Jordan Spieth's popularity shoots up the ladder. John Feinstein tells us how the young superstar handles the attention. Plus, in 1992, a skinny 16-year-old amateur named Tiger Woods made his PGA Tour debut at Riviera. We take a look back at that breakout moment for the 14-time major winner, and last week's winner on the European Tour was flying high, literally. That story later in the show.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Shipsticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.